So here's a close-up look at the Shapeshift. Let's get a few things out of the way. It meets all the requirements you need to be considering a holster. So blocks the trigger guard so you don't accidentally shoot yourself, allows you to get to the weapon quickly and put it away quickly, and then it also conceals it. So regardless of what holster you're looking at, you need to consider those three things when looking at it. And if it doesn't meet that criteria, don't even consider it because it's not safe. First, we'll get into the pros now that we've got that out of the way. The first one is versatility. So the whole idea behind Shapeshift is that it allows you to use one holster in a variety of different methods. This is the outside the waistband setup. This is also the vehicle mount setup. So it comes with an attachment that you can load into a vehicle, pop it in, pop it out very easily, which is very nice. And then finally, if you use the little paddle, it becomes an inside the waistband appendix carry holster. And this leads us to the second pro, which is adjustability. As you can tell, we have several different slots here which allow you to move the weapon further to the 12 o'clock position or vice versa, which is kind of nice. So if you're new to the game or you have kind of an odd body type, it allows you to comfortably fit the weapon inside your waistband, and it also allows you to adjust cant. You can also adjust the retention of it using a locking lug and this little square here, which is kind of nice. It just clicks. It's pretty simple. And it's a very positive feedback system, which is nice. So you know exactly how many clicks you're getting, and you can be very clear with what you want. So those are basically almost all the pros. The only final one is comfortability. So I like that they use this one-point attachment system, which allows this piece to shapeshift to your body very easily, which makes it incredibly comfortable. If you compare that to the older model, it attaches at 4 points, so this whole area here is going to be rigid on the backside. So it's still comfortable, but just not as comfortable as the newer version here. So those are the pros. Now the cons, I feel like there are some serious valid cons in here that you should consider if you're going to purchase this. Number one, the number of pieces it comes with. Now, in order to make it a Shapeshift, I understand that you're going to need a lot of different pieces. However, it's a lot to keep track of. I have basically the bare minimum set. It comes with an extra trigger guard, 2 different clips, which you should only be employing one for large weapons, one for small weapons, and then the appendix style paddle. So it is very easy to lose track of this shit if you're like me and you're completely unorganized, but for regular people, shouldn't be a big deal. The next con I have is the lack of metal reinforcement inside the frame itself. So if we put the weapon to the side and just take a look at the holster itself, the way it shapeshifts is by breaking it apart, turning these locking lugs. These pop off very easily, which is almost a con in itself, because if you're going to be running this as an outside the waistband holster, you probably don't want a little piece of plastic that falls off as something that is very important to the integrity of your holster. Then it slides apart. Not a big deal, but one thing I do see as being an issue farther down the line is that the pieces that connect are plastic. Now, it's a hard plastic, it's pretty rigid, and it's pretty durable. I've taken this apart a number of times because that was a concern of mine. I haven't really seen a major set of wear and tear on this holster. However, it is something that I just kind of feel uncomfortable with. Also at the top, the locking lugs lock onto pieces of plastic, which isn't necessarily the best idea. I feel like the substance they use for this mount, which feels like a metal or a very hard plastic, would do a little bit better reinforcing on the holster itself in order to increase longevity. Keep in mind, that's just my opinion. I mean, I haven't seen any really wear and tear on this, but it's not something that I feel would perform very well in the long term as an outside the waistband holster for that reason, and that it's not beveled. So if we put this back together, which it's pretty easy to put back together, it's just sometimes you'll get hung up on shit. But look at that, pretty simple. And then you put the locking lugs on, really not a big deal. But once you get it set up to the outside the waistband setup, so you have to have these perfectly aligned too, which is kind of a pain. There we go. Okay, so once you have it set up for outside the waistband, if you look at the opening for the weapon itself, it's not beveled at all. So as you come in to put your weapon away, hopefully you get it right the first time. So if you're out and you're doing some run and guns, some 3 guns, whatever it might be, it's not something you would necessarily want as a permanent outside the waistband holster, especially because every time you slam it into itself, as you miss and you hit the weapon on the side of the holster, you're going to be putting a lot of force on these 2 points here, which are plastic. So overall, it seems pretty structurally stable, but it's not something that I would want to use as an everyday carry as an outside the waistband holster. Now, inside the waistband, incredibly effective. Really no problem there. It doesn't need the bevel because as you run it, as you break it apart, which I'm actually getting somewhat decent at now, it runs this extra, if I can figure out how to put it on, this extra trigger guard. So this whole area is actually filled up by the neoprene guard itself. So your weapon slides in incredibly easy. The retention is adjusted very easily. It fits comfortably, and it's not pushed up against your body. So as an appendix style carry holster, it's very awesome. I feel like it doesn't necessarily perform as well as an outside the waistband holster, but it still does a pretty good job. So overall, the Shapeshift holster is pretty solid. It's definitely a great value. It's versatile. It does have drawbacks, like we talked about, the plastic construction, which has held up well so far, but in the long run might be kind of an issue. Keep in mind, I've only had it for 3 months, so it's not something I've been able to do normal wear and tear on to the extreme value that I usually like to. But if you're in the market and you're looking for something that's versatile that you can use every day, you know, as an inside the waistband, as a car holster, and then every once in a while go to the range and you don't want to drop the money on an extra outside the waistband holster, I feel like this is a really good choice. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments or any experience with this holster, please comment below. Let us know what you think. And let us know if you have any other video ideas. I know it's been a little bit slow lately. We've had some trouble with our truck recently, so we haven't been able to get out to the range and film some gel videos for you guys. I know it's been quite some time working with Ford on that one. So hopefully we'll be posting some more videos for you guys soon. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.